It started with sleep paralysis. At first, I thought it was just stress. Everyone gets it now and then, that awful moment where you wake up but your body doesn't. You lie there, frozen, wide awake and aware, but completely paralyzed. My first experience with it came 2 weeks after I moved into this house. I woke up in the middle of the night, flat on my back, unable to move a muscle. The room was dark, except for the faint glow of the streetlight bleeding through the blinds. I couldn't turn my head, but I could move my eyes, and that's when I saw her. In the far corner of the room, just beyond the reach of the light, was a tall figure, slender, motionless. Pale white face, long, dark hair that hung down past her waist like wet vines. She didn't move, didn't breathe. Just stood there, watching me. I told myself it wasn't real. Just a hallucination, something my brain conjured up while my body was stuck in limbo. But then it happened again. 3 nights later, same thing, I woke up, unable to move, with that same crushing weight on my chest. This time, she was closer. Not in the corner, but at the foot of my bed. Her long hair seemed to move even though there was no breeze. Her head tilted, just slightly, as if curious. Her presence didn't feel human. It felt wrong, like something wearing the shape of a woman, but not built right. When I could finally move again, I sat in bed shaking for an hour. I started dreading bedtime. I left the lights on, slept with the TV going. Anything to keep the dark from settling in fully. But none of it helped. Once a week, sometimes twice, I'd find myself trapped in my own body with her standing somewhere in the room. Always in the dark spots, always silent. And always closer than the time before. I started avoiding sleep entirely. Drank more coffee than I should have. Stayed up until sunrise, but the body gives out eventually. And when it did, she was waiting. After a month, the visits weren't just at night. I was in the kitchen one evening, standing by the sink, rinsing out a mug. I reached to turn off the faucet and caught a flicker of movement in the reflection of the window. Just a blur. Behind me, I turned around fast, heart racing, but the room was empty. Even opened the pantry door, nothing. The lights flickered that night. Just once, a quick dimming, and in that split second, I saw her, in the hallway. Right between the living room and the bathroom. For less than a second. She was awake too. That was new. Over the next couple weeks, she showed up more and more. In mirrors. In reflections on the TV screen. At the edge of the woods behind the house, standing just beyond the tree line. Always when it was dark, always in the shadows. One night I dropped a fork behind the couch. Reached down to grab it, then paused. In the thin slice of darkness between the couch and the wall, I saw her face. Too close, her pale skin glowed faintly. Her long hair coiled along the floor. Her mouth wasn't open, but I felt something pressing against my ears. A whisper in a language I didn't understand. I backed away slowly and didn't sleep for 2 days. She wasn't part of the dream anymore. She was in my house, in the shadows. The darker the room, the stronger her presence. I started sleeping with every light on, every curtain drawn. But shadows are patient. They wait in corners. And she was always in the corners. I became obsessed with catching her, set up a webcam in my bedroom, pointed at my bed. Downloaded motion-activated software, let it run all night. In the morning, I checked the footage. Hours of stillness. Then, at 3:12 a.m., the software triggered. The screen lit up, my body, rigid in bed. Eyes open, staring straight ahead. And behind me, in the darkest corner of the room, movement. She stepped into view like she was melting from the wall itself. Her arms long and jointless, hair dragging on the floor. She leaned down slowly until her face was right beside mine. Then her mouth opened, wider than it should have. Her face next to mine, whispering something into my ear. I didn't move, I deleted the footage. I don't know why. Maybe I was scared someone else would see it. Or maybe I didn't want the evidence. Seeing her on that screen meant she was real. Not a hallucination, not a breakdown. I avoided the basement for weeks, but I had to go down eventually. A fuse blew one night. Half the house went dark in a blink. I grabbed a flashlight and headed down. The narrow stairs groaned. At the bottom, I aimed the light at the fuse box and opened the panel. She was standing behind it. She stepped out slowly, her body dragging against the wall like her bones didn't work right. Her head tilted, that pale face blank and endless. She raised one arm and pointed at me. Then the flashlight died. I ran, stumbled, really up the stairs, slamming the door behind me and wedging a chair under the knob. I didn't go back down. I started hearing things at night. Not footsteps, whispers, right next to my ear. Just as I was falling asleep. They weren't in any language I knew. But I understood them anyway, always the same. Let it in. I moved to the couch in the living room. Kept the TV on static, noise helped. But every night, the shadows seemed deeper. One night, I noticed something in the hallway. It was pitch black, but I'd left the light on. And in the dark stood a figure, tall and thin. She didn't move, neither did I. We just stared at each other. Eventually, she stepped back into the dark. And the light blinked back on. I called my sister. She visited for a weekend. That night, she screamed at 3 a.m., said she saw a woman in the corner. She left the next morning. Hasn't responded since. I thought about moving, rented a motel 2 towns over. Didn't make it to midnight. The lights flickered, and when they came back on, she was in the bathroom doorway. I left everything and drove straight home. You can't run from shadows. They live in you, she lives in me now. Doors started opening in the night. Closets, the hatch to the crawl space, I nailed it shut. Next morning, the nails were on the floor. The door was open. I tried not to look at her face. It never sat right, like my brain couldn't process it. Her skin wasn't just pale, it was void-colored. Her mouth seemed to stretch too wide, her hair slithered when there was no air. Once, she smiled at me. Not with her mouth, but with her eyes. I heard breathing in the bedroom closet. I tried to shut the door. A black hand grabbed the frame. Long fingers, too many joints. I slammed it shut, heard her laughing, in my head. I stopped eating, everything tasted like metal. I looked in the mirror and didn't recognize myself. She liked me this way, closer to her. One night, the power went out. Total darkness, she came quickly. Stepped out of the wall, stood in front of me. and said, "Closer." I ran, collapsed on the side of the road. A truck driver found me. Didn't matter, I came back. The house was quiet, she was still here. She knelt in front of me and pressed her forehead to mine. Whispered something I can't repeat. I haven't blinked since, I don't think I need to. I understand her now, she wasn't haunting me, she was choosing me. I see her everywhere now, in unlit stairwells, in shadows that stretch too long. She's spreading, she used me to get through.